Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 48. Today we'll be doing our first Gauntlet of the 3.6 patch. And so, if you weren't familiar with it, the first thing coming out of the 3.6 patch is that's the updates to Elites, the updates to Reputation, the rules change on the play and the cast, and what was actually the biggest thing of the patch was the nerf to the Sun Disk. And so before this patch, the format was completely defined by the Sun Disk. You had to be able to win on turn 7 or turn 8, or the movie would start up and you would just lose the game. And so that brought together a specific kind of breed of aggro decks that were able to attack with elusives or overwhelms, and they also kind of had free reign with the absence of the control decks. If you're playing a control deck that doesn't want to win until turn 11 or turn 12, that's not good enough against the Sun Disk if they're just winning the game on turn 7. And so that really shaped up everything that we were seeing. And with the nerf to the Sun Disk, the format is slowing down quite a bit. And so we are seeing the emergence of a lot more of the Ezreal-based decks. With the changes to the cast rule, people are coming out and playing a lot more things like Heimerdinger and a lot of Lux. And with the kind of increased presence of these aggro or these control decks, it's really kind of warped the aggro decks that we're seeing. So we're not seeing nearly as much pirates or scouts. They just aren't as good in the current meta. And so that's what we're looking to kind of take advantage of with this lineup is kind of two things. We're playing 3 decks that just get beat up on by pirates. We're playing with the idea that we're just going to ban pirates, but with it not being super common, we should get to come in and just ban whatever else looks nasty. And then kind of idea number 2 here is we have to be just a little bit slower, right? We have to have a bit of reach to take down these control decks. And so I don't want to just be playing like scouts. That can be a little bit tough to pull off. I know as much as it hurts to say, it's pretty tough to do. But as you'll see across these decks, we all have a way to get some big booms in the late game. And so, as I always like to say in these Gauntlet videos, I don't like to spend a lot of time on the deck list themselves. I'll talk about what's different from the kind of standard meta decks, but we should have some full gameplay video guides for the rest of these decks out. And so there's 1 or 2 decks here that I haven't had the chance to do guides with, but we'll get that in the near future for you. We'll get that coming up in the next week. And so here, the first one we were playing is Taliyah Ziggs. This one does have the reach and the Absolver combo with Ziggs and Taliyah, with Ziggs going face on his flip side and the landmark destruction, and then of course the arsenal, right? And so this deck does have the reach capabilities that we're looking for, and a couple of things that you don't always see. We're playing 3 copies of Ancient Preparations. I really like the ability to go and predict for the Arsenal or predict for the Absolver, whatever we kind of need in a specific situation. So this has a lot of good usage early and late. And then in the spells section, we don't play Pokestick. I don't think Pokestick is particularly good in this format anymore. If it wasn't good in that kind of like hyper-aggressive format, I think it's definitely just worse now. And so I'm not really amped about playing the Pokestick. What I think may turn out to be kind of interesting here is we are playing the full 3 copies of Hexplosive Minefield. I'm curious how much Udyr we'll run into today and how many Udyr shutdowns we'll get with the Explosive Minefield. But I'm pretty happy to be playing a deck sporting this. I think what we're going to see a lot of here in the near future is a lot of Udyr-based decks, which are essentially the same as like Pantheon-based decks. And I'm curious how much we see these big stuns, see things like Vengeance, we see things like Minimorph make their way into the format as Pantheon and Udyr kind of make their presence known. But that's Taliyah Ziggs. The next one here is Vigeo Nasus. This is my favorite deck in the current meta. I've been playing tons and tons and tons of Vigeo Nasus over the past few days. I've really kind of fallen in love with this deck. And so the only strange things coming out of this one, we're playing the 1 copy of Rite of Calling. I really honestly feel like we should probably just be playing 3 Rite of Callings and 0 Nasus. We'll come and talk about that later as we have to kind of fill the air later on in the video, but we're playing the full Vigeo Nasus collection of cards today. And I have moved one copy of Vengeance into the deck. Again, I suspect that we're going to start to see more and more Udyr and Udyr Galio style decks. I either want more Vengeances or I want a second copy of Atrocity so that we can go over top of what they're doing. But this is our big reach card here, right? We have the opportunities for Vigeo and Nasus to grow up to 10 or 12 or 20 even, and then blow up our opponent with the Atrocity. Then the last one is the Draven Sion mid-range deck. Sion recently upgraded again. He has the +1 attack that he had lost out on in the past, and so he was one that was always kind of interesting to me. If his 10 attack was too much and 8 was too little, how this sweet spot at 9 really feels. But we're back to playing the full packages of Sion today, and then as again, we have to have those late game booms. We're playing the 2 copies of Captain Farron, and then I'm pretty happy with the likes of Aloof Travelers these days as the format is slowed down. Being able to come down and pop Galios out of our opponent's hand, very, very powerful type ability, but otherwise pretty straightforward here. And so that's it. But before we can get it going, before we can jump on in, we do have to pay the pay-to-win price, and we're going to do it today here with Vigeo. I can't wait to see how many people jump to the comments and say, hey, dumb fuck, it's not Vigeo. And it's like, well, that's where you're wrong, my friend. This has been Vigeo ever since he was released to Expedition, and that's just not going to change. And so if you want to hear me say Vigeo and Emperor's Diaz and say things like Demacia, then by God, you came to the right place. But we got a premium Vigeo. He's fucking ready for battle. The pay-to-win price has been paid. Let's jump in. Let's get this gauntlet going. So enter. Let's find that Prime Glory. Draven deck, sure. Here's a favorites looking button here, and the last star in Taliyah Ziggs. So cool. Confirm. The best of 3s are ready. The squad is together. Let's get them into battle. And so, yeah, as I was talking about the Vigeo there, we can swing back to him. I'm curious if we can't come out and kind of like assemble a lineup as to where we play Thresh Nasus and then we just play Vigeo on his own. The decks are extremely similar in composition. Probably 25 to 30 cards or so across the 2 decks are mirrored between them. And I'm kind of interested in the space that we can get there. But here, we got a dude bringing... it's not a full aggro lineup. I'm going to ban the Spider's Elise deck here. The Draven Rumble tends to be a more mid-rangey style deck. It's very similar to what we're doing with our Draven Sion. And then the Riven Fizz is the combo deck. That's the deck that's trying to put the Riven Sword out onto Fizz. You hit with an elusive, and then you attack again. Get these big chunks of damage in. I think we can realistically kind of handle that. I think we're... interactive enough to where we can get in there and potentially deal with those fizzes. Do struggle a bit with the Papercraft Dragon aspect of things, but I think I would rather just have the fizz deck hang out as opposed to letting spiders run in. Spiders is... oh, okay. I guess he didn't want to wait on our ban, but I feel like spiders was the... it's extremely similar to pirates in gameplay and game flow. And that's the deck that we are ultimately worried about. Okay, so that guy was not interested in letting our timer run down that far. We have a new set of opponents already. And with these, I'm happy to just go ahead and ban out tokens. We aren't really set up well to deal with it. With the addition of the kind of stealth buff to the 1 mana elusive unit, we just don't have the tools to deal with it outside of playing some quicksands. And so we'll get that one out of here. I feel pretty comfortable playing against Yasuo, and the Lurkers matchups just aren't that bad. All right, let's bring out the Taliyah Ziggs. Let's give it the go. I would like to have Taliyah Ziggs up against the Yasuo and then have our Vigeo deck up against Lurkers, but it's kind of a coin flip as to which one they're going to pick. And so if we have to beat a deck twice, though, I think we would prefer to play against this one. But I don't know. We don't get to really pick and choose there. But with this, let's hang on to the Ziggs. We need some more early game plays. Not bad. The Absolver and the Minefield are a little slow, but picking up the Chemist is nice. There it is. Get the double aggro on turn 2. I dig it. Little booms are just as good as big ones. All right, getting that turn 1 recall. And so here, it's tough. Like, well, we're just gonna go for it now. I was gonna say, like, if he plays the Blade Master, the 1/3 for 2 mana, it kind of sucks. But if he doesn't have it, we're good to just boom against everything. We could have technically played a Minefield if that's what it came down to. But with this triple chemist draw, we're just bringing in the damage. It's slightly awkward trying to get this Ziggs on the board now, but it'll be okay. Just give up on one of these scrappy bombs, I think. We could just full bank. I mean, it's a little slow that way, and it's a little painful if we go into the next turn and he just plays like a homecoming on our Ziggs or something. But we're pretty close to just getting Ziggs flipped. This is an interesting line. He's trying to like go turbo Yasuo on us. Interesting. All right, let's just boom. If he's gonna let us open for 10 damage, then let's open. Oh, that's so big in the Naturalist. Huh. There just can't be enough punishes here, right? If he has a bounce spell, it's just way too slow at this point. So if he wants to bounce the rock bear as we come in for 1 million damage, I'm pretty okay with that. Game says it's lethal. GG. All right. I'm just curious what kind of like awkward draw that guy had as to where it played out like that, but all right. Ziggs ain't worried. Now we get this Vigeo on the board. Man, I used to hate him so much. It's just he took over Expedition so hard. Like if you weren't an Expeditioner, they would do this thing in Expedition to where the new cards were more likely to show up, and so that was your opportunity to get to play with the new cards, was to make them more commonly appear. And then as they kind of started to come out and like sunset the format away. Vigeo just kind of kept that boost, and he was in one of the strongest card pools in the game, and like him and the dragons just dominated for an extended period of time. It was tough. It was tough. But here with this hand, we have a lot of width. This is kind of a keep, kind of an odd keep, if you will, in that we didn't search for any interactivity, but there's so little interactivity coming out of the lurkers that I felt pretty decent being able to put down like 2 units with the Wings in the Wave, 2 units with the Fading Icon. There's lots of powerful stuff we can do here. Ooh, and he whiffs on his lurk. This is pretty disastrous for our opponent. He really has to be like pushing an Aurelian Soul, not Aurelian Soul. He has to be pushing a Rek'Sai to the top of his deck really fast. That was suspect, but sure. We're just going to go for full damage here. I'll put down the Fading Icon. I'm going to do the Wave, whatever that one's called, to where we get the 3/3 out of it, and just be ready to attack next turn. Okay. I like, freeing up the space here. There's no reason to just come in and take this damage. We do run out of spots with the Vile Feasts and all the summons in this deck. Yeah, is there a world where he just plays like a 1 health unit here? I think this is okay. Like, if he just plays a dude and it comes in and blocks our 4/2, we're still getting in for the 4 damage, but getting his lurker off the board. Oh, it's just Rek'Sai. That's not ideal. Okay. All right. Take down my big unit. Still come in for 10. See ya. Goodbye. Interesting with the Cursed Keeper. It's like we're in the space to where we can play it and then just kill it off with the Vile Feast. But I think we just want a Vengeance here. We don't let him attack. The only card we really should have to worry about would be like a Death from Below Pike. And if he's not getting the predicts and the pushes to the top of his deck, he shouldn't even be able to do that next turn. So he puts him to the top of the deck, but he doesn't have a unit to attack with this turn. Unless he has a 1-drop, but he's had such an awkward draw, I can't imagine he has a 1. We can't just play Nasus, right? His Pike's only a 2 attack, and so he can't block him as a fearsome. Okay. Works for me. Punch him good, Nasus. Punch him good. God, the premium dog. It feels so good. The premium dog, the premium Vigeo. We're doing it right. Just taking this. No need to block. I don't want to lose our Nasus to something weird. We're at no danger of dying. If he comes in, we'll just take it. Can't imagine us losing this game. It's tough to say. You know, we say that on occasion and then we still lose, but I can't imagine losing this one. Okay, we'll play the Vile Feast for the extra unit. He's at 1, and so the Spiderling on board is super relevant. Alright, here comes the squad. Boomed it. Nice. That's probably about the fastest 2 victories you can get in Gauntlet, when your opponent just concedes before the game starts, and then then you crush those 2 that quick. Y'all are gonna be out of here in 30 minutes. Hope you got another video queued up. Oh, that reminds me, man. I've been seeing on the front page they have the little exclamation point that something's going wrong, and it's just the message that Expeditions will be gone soon. I think if you're still playing Expeditions, I think you got about a month. It's not. I can't remember the exact day. I think it's May the 25th is when the next big expansion patch will come out, and so you got until then. I'm not gonna go and make any videos for it, so it's too bad for that. But okay, what are we gonna do here? I'm leaning towards just banning the Pantheon. The problem with these kind of like Caitlyn based decks is they're good against the discard mid range. They're kind of okay against the Vigeo, but they're weak to Taliyah Ziggs, and so it's gonna be kind of a coin flip that the right thing falls up. I'm okay with playing this Kindred against anything. I'm not sure what the Shadow Isles is, or I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the Freylord is, but I think I'm pretty okay just to come in and ban the Pantheon. We're not like super tooled to deal with him, although we are playing 2 decks that have Quicksand and 1 with Vengeance in it. I think I would still rather just take that one out of the equation. All right, let's bring out the Draven. He brings the ban on Vigeo. We're not even going to get to drop the premiums today. All right, let's hang on to this Fallen Rider. I don't think we need Mystic Shots here, and then we'll look for some earlier plays. Not a great start. We really need a discard output for this Fallen Rider. Captain Farron ready to party. Ugh, this is gross. Yep, I ultimately worry that, like, if we play this Fallen Rider on turn 2 and it gets hit with a Vile Feast, we are in just, like, such a bad spot. But like, what else are we gonna do here? We don't have any other options with this hand. So weird. No idea what this guy's doing. Alright, well, let's take down the unit. Like, this is kind of like control decky style units, and he leads off with the Hapless Aristocrat, but then has the rando Overwhelm unit. That's just so strange to me. Not sure what all they have going on. Of course, Sump Dredger shows up now. We do have this like stun combo in hand on the turn where he wants to play Callista. But, I mean, I can't imagine this is the kind of matchup to where we want to just be like passing. We're not going to be... We're definitely the aggro in this one, so... Let's just go ahead and discard the Sion. Boost up our dude. Draw the Fallen Rider. Say, okay. At least we got Overwhelms in the face of these Hapless Aristocrats. See if he tries to boom us with an aggro card next turn. You got to switch it back and forth. You play some aggro cards, and then you play some control-y cards, and you play some aggro cards. See? Oh my goodness. I guess that's more along the lines of a Callista kind of thing, but what if we just take this, right? 1, 2, 4, 5? And then we can like Whirling Death if we want to protect our Sump Dredger. Not playing any other units here though. Well, I mean we could. We're gonna lose a 2 health unit either way. We could just go ahead and drop the sentry to kind of counterspell a sapling. We lose the Sump Dredger. We have the second sentry in hand. I think this is okay. So weird. So weird. Okay. Yeah, let's get one of these blocks in. I'd rather this stuff be dead before he plays a Callista. All right, who's coming down now? God, it's so painful only having the one discard this game. Like, it still feels okay. Like, he isn't doing enough, and we have a Captain Farron coming soon, but it's a real bummer with these things. It's like, I'm really surprised they haven't got hit with Vile Feasts or Withering Wail or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna just bring in our 2 Fearsomes. We'll look to use the Arachnoid Sentry and a Ravenous Flock on a future turn. We have the protection of the Ravenous Flock, or the Whirling Death as well. And so, not too worried about Kindred. Would have been a little unfortunate if he had like a what do you call it? Like a Glimpse Beyond, but this isn't that bad. Sure. Building up some board, though. This looks good. What? I mean, if we just like end up trading everything across the board here, and then we get Captain Farron down in a turn or two, that feels pretty good. I mean, even if he runs into Vengeance, it still feels pretty nice. Don't want to just give him the free one on the Arachnoid Sentry, but I think this is fine otherwise. If he trades his Soul Shepherd for the Sentry, trades his Astral Fox, then it ends up taking 3. And I think we're in a pretty safe space here to just discard Whirling Death to the Sump Dredger. No, it doesn't feel like we're going to cast it. We're getting pretty close to just burning him out with the Captain Farron. Get excited. Okay. Shenanigans, I tell you. He's got all the shenanigans. Sion makes an appearance. All right. Not even close to flipping. He will. When we play Captain Farron into Sion, he'll flip, but it feels a little odd with him not even being there at this point of the game. 25 of 35 power. Making the big decisions. I hope he's ready for the captain. Getting decimates feels good. I was thinking with this lineup today, I was like, man, maybe I do just bring like pirates and spiders. Like I did the full decimate lineup last week. We played pirates, spiders, and Darius Nar. It worked out. It was fine. Okay. I mean, I'm happy enough to just slam. Well, I mean, it sucks to lose Captain Farron in the face of this thing, but I think this is good enough to just make the trade. I mean, realistically, well, we probably have to, right? I was gonna say, you know, if we just take the damage and then next turn get Sion down, it's pretty backbreaking. But I don't want to just die to atrocity, right? It you know kind of sucks to have Sion and his rally powers and then no other dudes on the board, but I think this will be okay. Some more Captain Farrons. How many decimates do we need? It's just like if he gets popped with Vengeance, it sucks so much. At least with the Sion, if he gets hit with the Vengeance and then we get to fight with the Rager Sod, whatever this thing's called, the Last Breath, that leaves us in the space to just kill with Decimate next turn. Right, if we just had dropped Captain Fair in there, we'd lose our ability to deal a bunch of damage this turn. It's not to say can't like shut pieces of this down with a Frostbite, but I think this is okay. I'm gonna get excited this Ether Fiend. I don't want him to be in a space to where do we? We don't have to. If he's gonna try an atrocity us with the Ether Fiend, then we could just respond with the Get Excited. There's no need to do it preemptively. We got all the manas one could need. This is kind of, well, you do run into like weird spots now to where he's like Herder is a troll chant, right? I don't want him troll chanting the Ether Fiend. Oh my gosh, do we lose to something weird here? Nope. Okay. That was odd. But you did your work there, Captain Farrons and Scions, and your late game punch that we wanted. See if Taliyah Ziggs can do the same. All right. Against the Caitlyn Swain, I'd like to have like a little bit more early game than these two, but the Endless Devout plays so nicely in these matchups. I just like if they have to spend, you usually don't want to be spending your removal on the Endless Devout, right? You run into trouble with the Sarcophagus and the Desert Naturalists and stuff. But if they're just trying to preserve their health, then it's a reasonable thing to take down. Roll the dice with. All right, you're gonna have to do some work, my friend. Didn't get to punch in with the 3 inventive chemists this game. Boom crew rookie. Oh man, that was not on my radar. I dig it though. I like what you're about, my dude. You just bringing all the burn. All of it. Every last bit of burn. He says, here you go. It's coming at you. Okay. Explosives. I'm ready for it. That's kind of lame, I'll give you that. All letting us do cool stuff with our Ziggs. That's a treat, though. I appreciate getting that landmark on the board. Like I was really considering just dropping the Hexplosive Minefield to have it down, so we get to preserve our mana a little bit next turn. But we should just get to boom here. Ooh, Taliyah. Oh, if he doesn't open, this is so choice.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
Okay. So if he comes in to hook Ziggs or whoever he plans to hook, we can just blow something up with the Unleashed Energy to get the third blocker. I want to prevent all the damage this turn, right? We could just make a quicksand play here, but I think the big Unleashed Energy is going to be a little bit stronger. It's a little unfortunate with the stun coming down, but I think it's okay. Oh, he's not going to use it. Nice. This might be a quicksand coming in. If he's only bringing these 2 units, I assumed with the Boom Crew Rookie deck is going to bring the squad. But if he only attacks with the 2 units, we'll hit with the quicksand. Might just hit with the quicksand anyways, let's be real. That feels a little suspect. Oh, an elusive. Oh, snap. Okay. Destroy landmark. Give an ally a boost. Do we want to keep the Ziggs? I guess that's a real decision here. Taliyah. Do we want to keep Taliyah or keep Ziggs? Probably just want to keep Taliyah, right? I mean, we could put Ziggs. Yeah, let's just lose Ziggs. So we only take 3 damage on the turn. Have our biggest unit. She's not ultra close to flipping, but she has more stats than Ziggs at the end of the day, and is more important than when he flips. Got to click that pass button. I finally got fed up with playing scouts and having it like be obvious when we had Rangers resolve, and so I finally turned it off and said, okay, well, we're gonna play this the real way and just have to click on the buttons over and over again. We could stun, but I think we would prefer to be a little bit more defensive on this Tusk Raider. If we get in the space next turn to where we get to stun one of his units, it feels like it should be pretty close to done. Like, very real chance he just takes the 10 here. But if he doesn't and we trade with the elephant, I feel like it's okay. Okay. I want to trade you away too, Endless Devout. Here, I think I'm going to let these stand, though. Well, let's not. Let's get the Devout going. We're so close to flipping Taliyah with the Absolver in hand, and I feel like there's a pretty good chance next turn. A pretty good chance next turn for us to get a Hexplosive Minefield kill with a big boom on board. Okay, this is how we want to go, right? So we get the unit, or the thing off of the Endless Devout. He gets to keep his Tusk Raider, which is fine. We have a stun for it. If we need it, we get to take down his scary unit. We get the additional Sarcophagus on the board. Now if we draw a landmark, we can flip Taliyah, and that's pretty close to a game ender. Did hit a landmark, but how much can we hit for? Like, we're gonna hit for 10 with the 2 in the middle. We have it a lethal. Right, we're gonna assume he like plays another unit, and then we ride the arcane that unit away. It's playing out that way. He's got a ton of cards in hand, so it's by no means a guarantee, but we're gonna be really close here. Especially if he has like say his next play is another Pharaoh's Fancier, and he can't block our Restored Devout, say he has to block Taliyah, then we have the 3 damage out of hand to try and get a kill. That's not where you want to be. GG. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, we still got it. Not bad. Pretty sure that was a pretty budget-friendly collection of decks that he was playing. Right at the cusp of the final battle. Not bad, dude. Not bad. That's what I was initially going to do with the channel, was just try and make our way to Masters with the budget-friendly offerings each month, but the game itself was just too budget-friendly, so I felt like that wasn't really worthwhile. It's useful for, like, the people coming into the game, like, if you're new to it and having access to, like, budget decks and stuff, but it's not like a Magic or a Hearthstone to where like a free-to-play account is like a real burden and a real challenge to pull off. So the initial ideas didn't work out. The expedition idea didn't work out either, but that's what it is. All right, and so we're going to ban out the pirates. That's the Misfortune Gangplank here. Darius Nar's not like super awesome, but I'm pretty okay with playing against the Sentinels. I think there's a decent chance we might just be able to 2-0 the Sentinels. And so, yeah, man, we just turned Vigeo Premium and we didn't even get to play it. Fine, dude. Be like that. Why are people the way that they are, you know? Just trying to drop some premium Vigeos out here, and they're like, I'm going to ban it. Anywho, I'm not the hugest fan of Rockhoppers in this matchup, but I'm still going to hang on to it because we have the 1-2-3 curve here. And let's just go ahead and get rid of Preservarium and search for a more aggressive opener. Right, this is kind of one of the spaces. Like I'm playing Vigeo. I'm playing interesting. I'm playing Vile Feast in our Vigeo deck. I think this is a format where like Vile Feast is really picking up some steam. It's really been picking on the aggro decks these days. But, right, this is the kind of disaster zone against the Sentinels deck when they have the turn 1 Sentinel and then they Vile Feast an Inventive Chemist. Then we have this annoying ass set of units we have to deal with poorly. And so I'm going to try and play around it just a touch. Let's get the Ancient Preparations down and then see what he's going to bring to us here. And so I don't want to just get boomed really hard by Vile Feast. Got Taliyah coming up, though. We can drop the Endless Devout now. And so if his angle here is trying to Vile Feast out our Chemist to grow his Sentinels, we have a good unit to lose in the Endless Devout. This is something we want to die pretty quickly. You must not have the 3-cost Sentinel in hand, though. That's a pretty easy spot to just drop the 3/3 and then Vile Feast in the middle of combat. And so I would assume that he doesn't have another Sentinel in hand. But we'll see. We'll see what they're up to. Mystic Shot, cool. I checked to see if I approve of that Mystic Shot, and Survey's back, I do. Completely fine with that. What up, the Arsenal? You're a delightful person in this matchup. Okay, now we don't want to overdo this board, right? We want to get down. Ah, fuck. That sucks. So we want to get down a Taliyah, and we need to have the space to get the landmark as well. And so we can't play the Inventive Chemist because then we can't copy. So we'll just go ahead and stop here. Ready for action. Big decisions are being made. And say this is a spot to where we could potentially get like a really backbreaking Rite of the Arcane. The downside with this space is if he's able to play a cheap removal, like if he has a Mystic Shot or if he has a Vile Feast here to take down our Rockhopper, it's kind of awkward, but I think this is still just too good to pass up. So let's destroy a landmark, blow up the Buru. I assume that this is the place where he wanted to play a cheap removal. But okay. Still give me that landmark. We get the good hook with the Rockhopper as well. And I think, I mean, he probably has to just block Taliyah with his unit, so we're safe to hit with the Clockling, right? If he doesn't block Taliyah and just gets domed for 10 to get a value block on the Clockling, that sounds horrible. Cool. Looking really good. Looking good. At least the premium Taliyah gets to come down, right? People are going to be lames and ban our Vigeos, and we get to at least drop the premium Taliyah. Ooh, Unleashed Energy's huge. Get to play Ziggs Chemist this turn, and then next turn just open with the Unleashed Energy and blow up and stuff. Pretty cool. Takes 7 mana to do Unleashed Energy plus double Absolver. Should be like, you know, we're in the space to where we open, then they can just Vengeance something, and we should be able to boom the other unit. I like it. I like it. Oof. Uh-oh. Aftershock. Sure. And a Vile Feast. Alright. Rip Inventive Chemist. GG. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Get them Sions out here now. No Udyrs today. It was very weird. I don't know. Again, like I don't know if somebody like posted a video of Galio Udyr or if it's just rising up in popularity. But I played against so much of it within the past the past few hours. I think we can hang on to this. It's a little awkward with the get excited, but we have the discard outlets to get this hand rolling, and it's nice to be able to pick on some of the bigger sentinels. He's got the burgeoning, that sucks. Still got to lead out with the Boom Baboon. I'm not throwing down the Fallens. It's not a completely irresistible place to just pass. I was gonna say if he passes to us and we just pass it back, I think that's okay. We don't need to be in like a super hurry here. He plays Elise. Okay, that makes the baboon safe. I'll trade this with either of his units. It's fine. But I think he's just gonna pass it back. Oh, bringing the aggro right to us. Interesting. Interesting. That's what I suspected. What up, Draven? Ready to party with you. Such premium. Yeah, such premium. So we got, well, we got 5 of the 6 premium champions today. Draven and Sion are both premium. Okay. It's just the one copy of Ziggs. Ziggs is the only one. Interesting. He gave him the opportunity to trade the Sentinel for the Baboon. Didn't take it. But he still has this Elise on board. And so it's like you're missing out on your opportunities to like open with Elise there. That's odd to me. But we're like pretty healthy in combat now. We picked up our single copy of the Reborn Grenadier, which we can easily discard to Poro Cannon to get a surprise fearsome blocker out here. I don't really want to drop the Risen Rider as much as I just want to drop Draven. We can put Draven in front of the Spiderling. Or if he leaves it back and attacks with Elise, we can still block the other Spiderling to get more spinning axes. I think this is good. And then again, we're still ready to boom with the Reborn Grenadier to get the additional blocker down. Pretty cool. Draven time. Now, do we care about this point of damage, right? Would we rather just take down the Elise? I think so. I think so. Like, all of his units are just going to trade back with our units anyways, but having these little spiders on board's kind of annoying. Okay. And do we want to spend this mana on a Poro? It's kind of awkward with our setup next turn. I think we can just pass. But if we want to like maximize our Flame Chompers, we need to drop a Spinning Axe. We don't have any great targets for it. I guess we can drop the Risen Rider and see what happens from there. He has a pretty get excitable board, but I feel like our Draven's probably not long for this world. But that's okay. More interested in trying to attack with these fearsomes. Does this deck play Withering Wail? I don't think it plays Withering Wail. That would be kind of worrisome for our Daring Poros. Alright, some kind of shenanigans are about to happen. I'm just going to get the Poros down, leave this 3 mana back for Get Excited, and come in for an attack. Well, I guess if you're going to play a removal, you're just going to block anyways, but I assumed our Draven would be dead. Okay, this may not work. If he has another removal, that's pretty bad, but okay. Excellent. Get that dude right off the board. Here's the big daddy. Sion's ready to bring some booms. Okay. Definitely want to get him on board next turn, and definitely have him flipped when he comes down. Ooh, just opening with the Mystic Shot? Interesting. Interesting. Alright, he'll flip when he sees himself. We did just drop ourselves out of Get Excited range next turn, but I think this is okay. Shock Blast. Sure, that was expensive. I did the mathematics on that one. That was expensive. Are we ready for Sion still? I think so. Like, it's tough for him to play something, like, too relevant, but on the flip side, it's like, if we play Sion and then just immediately get the rally, it kind of sucks. We should probably try and play him next turn. Let's go aloof. He lost Alberoso Feros. Sure. People are complaining about him. I think he caught something in the play change or something. For each 6-cost spell you've played this game, increase it by 1. I don't know. People always out here bitching about stuff. That's all people do, am I right? I was pretty happy. I did see some Reddit thread pop up, just some dude being like, you all are the fucking worst. Just a cesspool of toxicity out here. Gave that guy an upvote. It's just so true. Like, I don't know. It's like, you'll see like this collection of people that say stuff like, man, I want this to be like really big on Twitch. It's unfortunate that there's like 300 viewers on Twitch. And then when Riot makes changes to make the video and the gameplay more appealing for viewers, they're like, wow, this is awful. I'm going to make a bunch of GIFs of like swords on the screen. It's just like, what do you expect? Like, no wonder. No wonder. It's like, I want people from Riot to come hang out with us on Reddit so that they can make a comment, misuse the word rework, and then just bitch about it for the remainder of their days. Like, just like as you come out here and just like complain, nobody wants to hang out with you. Like, that's not a better way to put it, I don't think. All right. Anyways, I need to get over this. Let's get our Sion down. He's pretty far out of reach in this space, but if our opponent's going to drop a Vengeance, we're at least aligned pretty well for an attack. And then if we get to open attack next turn with Sion, that's pretty powerful as well. Such premium. That Sion returned, Sion returned, Sion. He's ready for it. He's ready to get in here and make these attacks. Sure. This is why I didn't want to play Sion last turn, right? If we play Sion, we already have the attack token, and then our opponent has some shenanigans, then we miss out on this rally attack. Pretty close to lethal. We have the 8 damage now. I don't want to just like spew it to face, because they can have like more heal, but we're getting pretty close to ending this one. Survival skills is interesting. Give us a bit of protection if we want to go in on one of these units. But if he just quits playing cards, I'm going to hook his fancier with the chompers. Do we still feel that way? It's like now I'm looking at playing Get Excited to face just to protect the unit, and then but we can't just replay it, right? We have another discard in hand. Okay. And I don't think this is the space to where we want to just... We can also just, like, kill off our unit, right? I don't think we're super into that right now. No more Piercing Darknesses. That costs 6. So punching in for 8 would be kind of nice. Alright. Beautiful, beautiful. Not dead, but very close. Get him to 2. Got all this burn in hand. We might have done it, fam. I think we did it. I think we did it. Ready to mark it a W for bust. There it is. GG. Give us the prime glory. So cool. Yeah, that worked out nicely. This is kind of one of these lineups to where the matchup against Pirates isn't good. The matchup against the rest of the field is fine, and so we were up against, like, we were matched up against Pirates once. We got matched up against Elise Burn once, but we didn't actually have to play against the Elise Burn. But I think it kind of worked. I think if we're actually out here playing tournaments, what you would be more likely to see is going to be someone playing Pirates plus Burn plus some other Burn deck, and you don't get to do that, right? That's one of the dangers of playing lineups like this, is that they have the opportunities to just bring very similar decks and then just not worry about your bans as much. And so I don't know. Like, I don't play enough tournaments. I don't have the time to do that. And so it is one of the weaker points of my game, in that I just don't have 6 hours and 7 hours of undevoted time I can drop on these on the weekends, and so it makes it just unfortunate for me to do. And so I'm sure there's a much more knowledgeable tournament player out there. You can go listen to Sir Tormund or listen to Bay or somebody and be a little bit more up on what to do there. But, we did kind of allude to it earlier. One of the things I would like to do, and what I think we'll end up doing in our next video, is if you go and look at a Thresh Nasus list, it's quite similar to what we're pulling off here. And so I'm kind of like, melding around in my brain piece a little bit, that we can just not play Nasus in this deck, play 3 Rite of Callings, and then play Thresh Nasus as another one of our decks, and go into battle like that. Still have to pick up a third deck, but this kind of big dude, kill our own thing atrocity deck is still here. The downside to this is that there are just like so many decks in the format right now that can't handle Vigeo, because all the removal is damage based, right? We're seeing all of these PNZ Ezreal style decks to where they can hit him with a Nox, or not a Noxus Blast. They can hit him with the Thermogenic Beam, but outside of the beam, they just don't have the removal package to do it, and there's a very real chance that he's going to be like an 8 attack or an 8 health or something, and they may not have enough mana yet. And so if you can kind of like protect him from the Scorched Earths of the world, it's very tough for those decks to come in and deal with. And so I'm interested. I'm definitely going to make another Gauntlet video as our next one. I'm just not very seasoned with Thresh Nasus. Back when Thresh Nasus was at its height of popularity, that would have been back when we were still just playing Expeditions. Might have been when we were playing Magic. I don't know. It's been quite a while since Thresh Nasus was a leader of the format, but he's certainly coming back and making his presence felt. But I do feel kind of bad, right? We just made our Vigeo premium and we didn't get to play him. We only got to play the deck once, and so I'd like to bring this back tomorrow and see if we can't get the Vigeo out here and up and running, and then I'll probably make a video for this as our next just ladder battles. And so you should be seeing some more of him in the future. It's really kind of grown on me, and I've been enjoying it. And so I think he's pretty powerful in the meta as well. But nonetheless, good set of battles here. Your battles with Bust were successful. We took down the Gauntlet, and that is going to do it for us today. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you learned how to pronounce Vigeo a little bit better. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.